Welcome to Sexpertise. I'm your host, Erica Rivera, and tonight we're beginning one of the most meaningful series we've ever done on this show. October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and we're dedicating this space to healing, empowerment, and the ability to reclaim pleasure after pain. When we talk about trauma, we often focus on survival, but not what comes after. What happens when the crisis ends and you're left trying to feel safe in your own body again? How do we move from simply surviving to truly living, to feeling joy, sensuality, and connection again? That's what tonight's episode is all about. So, whether you've personally walked this path or you're here to understand and support someone who has, you're in the right place. Tonight, we're exploring gentle, science-informed, heart-centered ways to reconnect with your body, your desires, and your power at your own pace and in your own way. Trauma can change how we see, feel, and even inhabit our bodies. For many survivors, the idea of pleasure may feel distant, confusing, or even unsafe. But sexual healing is not about rushing into intimacy. It's about gently restoring the relationship that you have with yourself. We talk about this today because healing doesn't stop at survival. Thriving means being able to experience joy, safety, and connection again. Pleasure is not a luxury. It's a part of recovery. Relearning what feels good, safe, or soothing can rewire the brain to expect safety again instead of fear. By talking openly about this, we challenge stigma and invite compassion for anyone whose body remembers pain more easily than comfort. Reclaiming your body as your own is an act of resistance against what hurt you. It's a declaration that your body still belongs to you, that it can experience pleasure not as proof of healing, but as part of it. Tonight, we'll explore gentle ways to reconnect using practical tools rooted in consent, mindfulness, and empowerment. Trauma changes the nervous system. It activates survival responses, fight, flight, freeze, or fawn, that once kept you safe but can later interfere with closeness or arousal. Even long after the danger has passed, your body may still be waiting for the next threat. This is why sudden touch, certain sounds, or even intimacy itself can trigger panic or shutdown. When arousal and fear occupy the same space, the body can confuse the two. Adrenaline rises, the heart races, but instead of desire, you might feel distress. Understanding that this is a biological response and not a personal failure is the first step toward self-compassion. Healing involves teaching the body new associations of safety. Grounding exercises, breath work, and trauma-informed therapy can help regulate the nervous system. Before pleasure, there must be safety, and that begins by noticing your body's cues instead of overriding them. For survivors, disconnection from the body can be protective. Disassociation or emotional numbing might have been the only way to survive that moment. However, those same defenses can later block intimacy or the ability to feel pleasure. You might know intellectually that you're safe, but your body hasn't caught up yet. Just relax doesn't work, okay? Because relaxation is impossible without trust. Healing means slowly rebuilding communication between mind and body, learning to listen again instead of silencing sensations. Small mindful moments, like noticing how your feet feel on the floor, can help bridge that gap. By bringing awareness back to the present, you create new pathways in the brain that associate embodiment with safety. This reconnection process may be uncomfortable at first, but it's deeply transformative. Feeling again, even if it's sadness or tension, is still progress toward wholeness. We often talk about consent with others, but self consent is just as vital. It's about checking in with your own readiness before any sexual or sensory experience. Ask yourself, do I feel safe? Do I want this? Does my body agree with my mind? If your answer is not yet to any of those, that's okay. You have the right to pause. Learning to say not right now to yourself is a radical act of care. It teaches your nervous system that you will honor its limits instead of pushing past them. This internal trust becomes the foundation for external trust in relationships. Self consent is self love in practice. Each time you honor your body's no or yes, you strengthen your sense of autonomy. That autonomy, not performance, is what leads to authentic pleasure. Your body begins to believe you again. Now, pleasure can't bloom in an environment of fear. Okay? Pleasure cannot bloom in an environment of fear. The nervous system must first feel calm enough to let arousal in. That's why grounding and relaxation are prerequisites for sensuality and not an afterthought. Create a space where you feel completely safe. That could be in terms of lighting, temperature, scents, sounds. These things all signal the body that it can soften. Notice the difference between excitement and anxiety. They can feel very similar, but one invites expansion while the other contracts. If your breath shortens or your muscles tighten, pause. Regulate first, sensation later. Pleasure becomes sustainable when safety is the soil it grows from. Safety is not unsexy, okay? It's what allows sexiness to exist. When you cultivate safety intentionally, your body learns that stimulation can be pleasurable and not dangerous. That relearning process is the essence of trauma recovery through pleasure. So, start with neutral touch. All right, start with neutral touch, hand over the heart, gentle arm strokes, or feeling fabric on skin. These simple actions reintroduce physical sensation without overwhelming the system. It's not about sexual touch yet. It doesn't have to be. It's about noticing that touch can be neutral or pleasant rather than threatening. Describe sensations out loud or in your head. Warm, soft, textured. Naming sensations keeps you anchored in the present. Judgment dissolves when observation replaces analysis. You are learning your body's language anew. So, gentle movement, stretching, slow dancing, even mindful walking helps release tension and increase awareness. Somatic awareness transforms your body from a battlefield into a home again. Each mindful touch says, I am here, I am safe. Let's talk about triggers. Triggers are not setbacks. They are communication. When they arise, use breath as your first line of dialogue. Inhale deeply through the nose and exhale slowly through the mouth. Breath tells the brain that the threat has passed, even if memories say otherwise. During discomfort, grounding phrases such as, I am safe in this moment, can re-anchor you. Pair breathing with physical grounding, pressing your feet into the floor, or touching something cool and textured. This anchors you back to the present. Reframing flashbacks into opportunities for self-care shifts power from memory to mindfulness. Over time, these practices recondition the body's reaction, teaching it that it can experience arousal or pleasure without danger. So let's redefine arousal. Arousal is not only sexual, it's the body's response to stimulation, any stimulation. For survivors, that system can confuse fear and desire because both elevate heart rate and adrenaline. Part of healing is learning to separate those signals and redefine what arousal means for you. Pleasure can begin with warmth, calm, or curiosity. You might discover arousal in music, sunlight, or gentle touch long before sexual context. And that's valid and powerful. It's a spectrum, not a switch. When you redefined arousal as sensory rather than purely sexual, once again, you reclaim control. You choose what feels good. You choose what's neutral. You choose what's not for now. This freedom to choose reteaches the nervous system that arousal can coexist with safety. Healing and pleasure both thrive in slowness. When we rush, we mimic survival mode. I know most of you listening or watching understand what I mean by that. When we're in survival mode, everything is like, just fast, and we're just like trying to survive. So when we rush, we're mimicking that action. However, when we slow down, we tell the body it's safe. So take your time. Take time to savor small details. Texture, breath, eye contact. Pacing is empowerment. Predictability soothes the nervous system. So let yourself know what's coming next. Turn on the lights. Explain your touch to yourself or a partner before doing it. Each act of transparency continues to build that trust. Slowness is not hesitation. Don't get that mixed up. It's wisdom. By controlling the pace, you rewrite the story of your body from one reaction to one of choice. Pleasure earned through patience is often deeper, safer, and more fulfilling. When intimacy includes another person, communication becomes medicine. Discuss your triggers, your preferred touches, and comfort levels outside of the bedroom first. This prevents confusion and allows both partners to feel like teammates in healing. Supportive partners listen more than they fix. Let me say that again. Supportive partners listen more than they fix. They ask, what do you need right now? Instead of offering quick solutions. Affectionate presence, like holding hands, eye contact, soft tone, often heals more than grand gestures. Consent is an ongoing dialogue. not a one-time checklist. It evolves as trust deepens. By talking openly about what's safe or not, you turn intimacy into collaboration instead of performance. Shame whispers that something is wrong with you, but it's lying. Shame thrives in secrecy and silence. So, speaking your truth aloud, whether to a therapist, written in a journal, or a trusted friend, begins to dissolve its power. Replace judgmental thoughts with curiosity. What is my body trying to tell me? Curiosity invites healing. Criticism shuts it down. When you replace "why can't I" with "what if I try gently," you invite progress. Pleasure after trauma is not betrayal of your pain. It's honoring your resilience. You're not erasing the past, you're expanding your future to include joy. That's the complete opposite of shame. It's liberation. Now, healing doesn't happen in isolation. I think most of us know this, but we tend to want to isolate, right? Therapists that are trained in trauma-informed care can guide you through body reconnection in a safe manner. So look for professionals who understand both psychological and somatic healing. Peer groups offer understanding that professionals sometimes can't. Shared experience. Hearing others articulate what you have felt brings relief and normalcy. So you are not alone, even if it once felt that way. Choose communities that empower, not pressure. Support should feel like a warm hand, not a demand. Whether online or in person, connection reminds your nervous system that belonging is possible. Gentle touch rituals, such as lotioning your skin, brushing your hair, or soaking in a warm bath. These things are foundational. They reintroduce pleasant sensations with predictability, like I mentioned earlier. It's okay if it feels mechanical at first. It might feel that way. But trust will grow through repetition. Mirror work invites you to witness your body without judgment. Offer gratitude to one part of each day. Thank you, hands, for carrying me. Something that simple is okay. Appreciation softens the inner critic. Solo exploration can become empowerment, not isolation. When you guide your own pleasure, you reestablish agency. You decide pace, pressure, and pause. That autonomy transforms survival into sovereignty. Healing rarely moves in straight lines. Some days you may feel free, others you may feel shut down. Both count as progress because awareness itself is growth. Each time you choose compassion over criticism, you're moving forward. Celebrate small milestones. Feeling relaxed during a hug, noticing warmth where there used to be numbness. These moments are victories, not trivia. Acknowledge them out loud. Progress over perfection is the mantra of sustainable healing. Patience tells the body that there's no rush. Again, no rush. When urgency fades, pleasure naturally has room to rise. Okay. Take a moment to ask, what part of my body feels safe today? That's where connection begins. Honor it, nurture it, and let safety spread from there. Awareness is your compass. Try one gentle practice this week, whether that's breath work, mindful touch, or journaling sensations without judgment. Tiny actions compound into transformation. Each step reaffirms ownership of your body and your pleasure. Now, before I close you out, I'd like to remind you that I love when people reach out to me. I do have an email address here. So anytime you feel like you can relate to one of these episodes or the topic at hand, I'd love to hear about it. And please note if you'd like these emails to stay anonymous. Always happy to keep everything confidential. I do have snail mail as well. And just a quick plug, please go ahead and follow me on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn at the Erica Rivera. And if you love these episodes, love these topics, and want to support Sexpertise staying on the air, I highly recommend that you join me on Patreon. So on Patreon, we dig a little bit deeper. You might watch the show, but after the show, we always publish an intimacy tip sheet where we go over more in depth what we talked about on that night's episode. We also have opportunities for patron shout outs, as well as one-on-ones, voting power. You know, if you want to vote on a particular topic on any given month, Patreons get that chance. So next week, we'll continue this conversation in trust, intimacy, and emotional safety, rebuilding connection, exploring how healing evolves in partnership. Until then, remember, your body is not broken. It's brave. Pleasure is your birthright.